That's the spirit. Let's go.
Master, are you mentally and physically prepared?
Here we go again.
What?
What? Wait, what do you mean what? You can see this? No, that is not good. That is very much not good. Wait, you're here? What?
What's this? Has time stopped?
Halara, how are you moving right now?
Yuma, what happened? Is this someone's forte?
Shinigami, Halara's in here too.
Not so.
You knew this would happen?
Master, you used your coalescence, remember? Your ability isn't like some one-way street. You have the power to borrow someone's abilities, and you share yours as well. Halara here ended up wandering into the Mystery Labyrinth because of that effect, I think.
You're not even sure?
Oh no.
Who are you?
This'll take too long to explain, plus I don't feel like it. So I'll take that roll over the master!
No. Dang, damn it.
The rabbit hole we go!
I was not expecting that. Halara's not supposed to be here. Not the chain being back. We have so much explaining to do, it's not even funny.
Where am I?
Well, that's a long story.
What should I do? I'll need to explain everything, won't I?
We don't have much of a choice now. No point in keeping secrets here.
Halara? Let me explain.
Yeah, okay. Oh, thank God it skips through the explanation portion for me.
And that's how this mystery labyrinth involving the Nailman killings materialized.
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
So mystery labyrinths are materialization of mysteries themselves, and the truth is encased deep within. I appear to have underestimated you. This is an amazing forte. I must admit, it's quite a superhuman power. As far as I know, no other ability comes close to this.
Yeah, you could say.
Who are you? I refuse to think you're just a trainee detective.
To be honest, this isn't my ability.
Before you continue, tell me, who is that woman beside you?
Her name is Shinigami. I think the simplest way to describe her is that she's a guide for the Mystery Labyrinth.
That's me!
Yep.
I'm also Master Scaracute Mentor.
On to my next question.
You're just gonna ignore me?
You mentioned the Nailman case just now. I had heard the rumors about that around town. Why are you investigating that case?
Huh? What are you talking about? We were just investigating
The
Nailman
hell?
case together.
What?
The Nailman. We were pursuing that case together?
What?
You don't remember? There was a young boy who wanted to hire a detective and you turned him down.
I do remember you received a request from a child about some case, and you ended up seeking my help.
She had no idea what the case we were investigating this whole time? How do you not put two and two together for that?
The cost for hiring me was 5,500,800 yen.
You remember the exact amount.
But I can't remember what the case involved. I do vaguely recall investigating something.
Did she forget everything, or?
My mind is clouded. I don't remember exactly what was being investigated or what was discovered.
Could that be?
Yeah, it's because of the Mystery Labyrinth.
Really?
The Mystery Labyrinth is a fortress protecting the truth, so outsiders usually can't reach it. If someone did happen to wander in, their memories of the case would be locked away.
Oh.
Though, if you have a pact with me, you wouldn't be affected. But I guess that part of the pact can't be shared.
This is the Mystery Labyrinth's defense mechanism, then. It makes sense for a vault that protects its treasure, the truth, to have a significant level of security.
That makes a lot of sense, and I applaud the game for it, simply because the reason why is because she knows the answer already. She has figured out the case. And if she knows everything and we go to the Mystery Labyrinth together with Halara, then, you know, it's not much of a Mystery Labyrinth, right? And they could have done the whole, you know, it's your problem to solve, not mine, sort of thing. But I think this works well because I'm going to go out a limb here and say that she's not going to be the only person coming into the Mystery Labyrinth with me throughout the poor duration of this game. Oh, I gotta click in the game. I'm like, why isn't it working? There we go.
Yep, totally not strange at all. Halara here sure is smart.
Halara.
Oh, don't mind her. She gives people random nicknames.
Anyway, since my memories of the case have been taken away, I will provide a supporting role for your investigation.
Supporting role?
As long as we're in here, I will act as your assistant. Well, that's the same as our original agreement.
That means we can't rely on Halara's detective skills to blast through this dungeon. That's unfortunate, but it's still nice to have an ally.
Yep.
Hey, Master, before we head into the Mystery Labyrinth, let's do that thing.
Huh? What thing?
The keys.
Master, are you ready to give your life for the truth?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, the sword. That's what we're doing. Okay. It took me a while to figure out.
Well, this world is just full of surprises.
Don't blame me.
I assume that sword is used to cut down enemies interfering with your progress through the Mystery Labyrinth.
That's correct.
Right. It's a special sword that can interact with things here.
I better materialize the solution keys I got during the investigation, too.
Yep.
That was a lot. Here you go.
Do you have to vomit them out every time?
What? Should I use a different hole instead?
Does it have
Sorry,
to?
please don't mind her.
All right, we're all set. Now, let's unriddle this Mystery Labyrinth. Our target is the true culprit who preys on the truth.
Mystery Labyrinth. Here we go. I'm actually really excited for this. This will be a lot of fun.
I
Oh.
understand that progressing through this Mystery Labyrinth will allow us to obtain the truth. But what happens to us if we can't find it?
Oh, we're just stuck here for all
We'd be
eternity.
lost, wandering around here forever.
But as long as we reach the truth, it doesn't matter how much time we spend here.
Oh, I forgot to mention this, but there's a time limit for solving the Mystery Labyrinth.
Why? Why is there a time limit? Why?
There's a limit to how long you can stay in here. Stick around too long and your soul will leave your body behind.
Great.
Your soul will wander until it's eventually absorbed by the Mystery Labyrinth, and you vanish entirely. In other words, you die.
Why are you laughing?
You should have told me this a long time ago!
Oh, relax. Quit whining. A detective is bound to die anyway.
Wow.
Isn't that right, Helora?
It's no different from our usual line of work. A detective's life is always on the line.
See? Listen up, Master. You might learn something.
You're taking this awfully well, Halara.
Of course she is. I mean, honestly, it probably wouldn't faze her that much. Two, three.
What's this?
They seem to represent the 4 crime
1, 2, 3, 4.
scenes. I assume that solving all 4 will allow us to progress.
Oh, I see.
You see? Master, this is your job. So what's first? How about starting with the clock tower, since it was the first one you investigated?
If the numbers are set chronologically, then the clock tower would be the 4th locked room mystery.
First off,
Let me check this in the clock tower. A clock tower.
Are you going to the 4th locked room?
Yes, we are.
This is an exact replica of the clock tower crime scene. Shinigami, you didn't recreate it with your powers, did you?
No, I can only do that when I hit you so hard in the head you almost die.
Almost die.
It looks to me like the crime scene
Almost
materialized
die?
in the labyrinth on its own.
the 4th locked room is the latest chronologically, correct?
That's right. And this is also what got me involved in the Nailman killings.
What are the details of the case? Try to tell me as concisely as possible.
The crime was a locked room murder inside the storage room of a clock tower. In the middle of the room was a woman's corpse covered in countless nails.
Which means that's the corpse.
Yeah, there were also lots of dolls nailed to the walls. It looked just like one of those bizarre crime scenes left behind by that Nailman guy from the urban legend.
Hence the Nailman killings. From the look of it, the door was locked from the inside.
Yeah, it was locked until the body was discovered.
There's only one window, and its shutters were down as well. I see. So the shutters were locked too.
This is the 3rd floor of the clock tower. It's too high up to jump from here.
So it really is a locked room mystery.
Not necessarily. I figured this one out very easily.
This is a locked room. Aren't we stuck in here too? Oh no! Master! You're trapped unless you solve this mystery. Otherwise, you'll run out of time and your soul gets snuffed out. You better hurry.
Hey!
Well, what's this for? What? Right now? Where did the culprit flee
I
from?
see. So that's how to make the questions appear.
I'm surprised you're so calm after seeing that.
Spot selection. Oh, I'm sorry.
Here!
The window.
It has to be here!
Yes, sir.
The culprit must have escaped through the window.
And your reasoning?
When I arrived at the scene, the window shutters were closed. It was wet underneath the window, but I could tell it was already starting to dry.
Which means the window was open not too long ago.
It's likely the culprit escaped through the window and closed the shutters on the way out.
Is it possible to close the shutters from the outside?
Yes, this style of shutter automatically locks, so if you let go of the shutters at the right height, its momentum pulls it down. And once down, it locks all on its own.
Yes, sir.
In other words, the culprit held up the shutters while moving outside. Once they let go, it automatically locked.
In that case, Let's try leaving this locked room in the same way.
Right. Let's try it.
The Nailman killings have already been solved.
Is he that peacekeeper?
Yes,
It's a
sir.
mystery phantom.
Already.
People covering up the case in the real world are manifested like that here to stop us.
You think the culprit really escaped from here, this high up? If you fall, you die. Why don't you give it a try?
Help!
Not all of us being yanked out.
Hey, don't drag me down with you.
Too late.
We can't leave a guest behind, Hallara. It would be downright unmannerly.
Oh, I guess we're falling into this like deep
So
abyss.
simple.
Oh, continuous battle. Press the correct button when you think you have the correct answer to the questions of Mystery Phantom. Attacks gotta keep coming. Be careful. You'll take damage if you avoid all assaults.
Yuma, the Mystery Labyrinth is a manifestation of a mystery. So solving it will get us out of this, right?
I think so.
The culprit wouldn't have fallen out of the window like we did. They would need a tool to get up and down.
A tool?
You should have found something during the investigation. I was helping you, after all. You must have seen the answer with your own eyes. Try
Yep.
to remember.
A rope ladder.
Master, concentrate.
From the high location.
No, I can't dodge it.
Oh, I can't dodge it? No.
Master, concentrate.
This must be it.
Okay, I see.
That's it! We found the burnt remains of that rope in the incinerator at the church. The culprit had used that rope to escape through the window.
Well, Chase is using the rope leave behind. Okay.
No, I can't dodge it.
The shutter's structure? So I don't press anything if I don't want to select that as an answer.
This is it.
The nail that was stuck in the doll under the window had some rub marks on it.
Okay, so for people that didn't get quite what just happened, I was trying to use my joystick to dodge out of the answers, the fake answers way. You can't do that at all. What you're supposed to do is not touch anything on the controller whatsoever if you don't want to pick that answer, which is a little bit opposite compared to how the other Battlefield went, right?
The culprit must have tied the rope there. That's why those nails had been hammered in below the window.
It wouldn't be possible to climb down a rope simply hooked onto a window, unless you've had special training for it. There's no way an amateur could manage it. That can't be how things went down.
In that case, it couldn't have been an ordinary rope. It must have been...
What's that? I can't hear you!
What were the rope's burnt remains originally?
Don't worry, I'm
Rope
right
ladder?
here with you. In spirit, anyway.
Yeah, a rope ladder. I was a step ahead, apparently.
Ow! We're alive, I think.
Yuma, are you okay?
Yeah, thanks. You saved me, Hallara.
Correct. It's all thanks to me. Money well spent, no?
Well, it was a lot of money.
Come on! Are you two just gonna keep staring at each other all day? Let's get out of this locked room!
Right.
So this is the rope ladder in question.
I didn't mean to cut off that dialogue. That was my bad.
The details of the case are still unclear to me. Was this found in the church's incinerator?
That's right. It didn't concern me at the time, but it makes sense now. The rope can be folded in the middle, and then the ends can be connected together. And that's how they made a rope ladder.
What makes you so sure it was used here?
The nail under the window showed signs of friction from a rope, and had some yellow fibers on it.
I would have never got that, I'm gonna be
A clergy member
honest.
showed me the rope's burnt remains, and I noticed it was the same yellow color.
As far as the dolls underneath the window, I didn't notice that. Or at least I don't remember noticing that, or making a big enough mental note. It has been a week since I've last played, so details are a bit
And there
fuzzy.
were footprints on the ground below the window of the clock tower.
There's also
facing the
why
wall.
I wanted to do this game this week and not push it off 2 weeks, because then it would be really difficult.
Thinking about it now, these were clearly signs that someone climbed down the rope ladder and landed there.
Wait, wasn't the rope ladder hitched on that nail? How did they get it down from the bottom?
The culprit could have cut it one rung at a time as they descended. By the time they reached the bottom,
Pull it on back?
it would have been one long single rope, which they could easily pull down.
The window's shutters fell due to its weight and locked automatically, completing the locked room.
The only thing that doesn't make sense is the fact that the window would have had to stay relatively open for this rope to be able to be pulled out like that. And the way they're visualizing the rope is there's a lot of these really big knots segments, right? When we lifted that shutter, the second we let go halfway through, it fell down automatically immediately. So I don't know how the culprit was able to pull down that rope ladder with the window shutter effectively cutting down closed on it like that.
Yep, that's a stellar deduction. Major props. To me for training you.
He's back.
The culprit used that rope ladder to escape the clock tower. What of it? That doesn't change our verdict at all. The watchmaker is the culprit.
Master, boom, kill the mystery phantom blocking your path.
Yeah.
Spear fights the door key.
These deductions of yours are
Okay.
unnecessary. It's clear who the culprit is. The watchmaker was nearby at the time of the crime. The watchmaker was also at the scene. And he had a hammer for the nails.
Oh, the
In other
press
words,
A to
he
jump.
committed the crime. After committing the crime, just as you deduced, he created that locked room
Oh, thank.
and escaped via the rope.
This is the one I was waiting for.
This is the truth.
The watchmaker is afraid of heights. He couldn't even look out the windows as he went up the tower. No way he climbed a rope ladder that high up. So it's impossible for him to have committed the crime. He's not the nail man.
Damn you!
One round is wild.
You said these mystery phantoms try to cover up the case, right?
Yep.
Which means the Peacekeeper Seth is trying to do just that.
I don't know why, but it's clear the Peacekeepers are involved with this case.
Perhaps it is connected to Kanai Ward's ultimate secret. All the more reason to seize the truth. Let's...
Right.
Jeez, who's the protagonist here?
By the way, Yuma, about your sword. Does it only work on cues and mystery phantoms?
The solution blade works against anything in the Mystery Labyrinth. So don't cut your allies by mistake, Master.
You could have told me that sooner.
Can I use that sword?
Ooh, so sorry. Only Master is able to use it because he made a pact with yours truly. You may be under the effects of coalescence, but you're just an extra here, Hellara. So, nope, you can't use the solution blade.
I was merely curious. Regardless, it's best I act as support, since I don't have any memories of what happened. Let's return to the case. Assuming the watchmaker isn't the culprit, do you have any notion of who is?
I do. Halara, during the investigation, you claimed one of the people at the church is the culprit. I think I understand the reason why now. That rope was found inside the incinerator, which only clergy members could access.
In other words, whoever tried to destroy the evidence is a member of the church. Prompt and logical. I am quite impressive.
Wait, you're tooting your own horn?
Where the hell are we? Clock tower. Okay, well.
Hey! A treasure chest! Can I open it?
Apparently.
Check it out! A new solution key!
Not how it's new. Oh, tree's been burnt.
We're back to the original spot.
So, we cleared the first route. We just need to keep this up and go through each shrine one by one to gather clues about the culprit, which supposedly leads to solving the real-life case. I'm starting to understand how the Mystery Labyrinth operates.
You learn fast. Unlike a certain master I know.
If you're so impressed, why don't you just sign a pact with Halara?
Oh, are you sulking? You're the jealous kind, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
I'm not. I'm
We're
not.
short on
I'm
time,
not
aren't we?
jealous.
Let's move on.
Right.
I can't wait to reap the culprit's soul. What do we do next? You can choose whichever you want, so why not start with the one you're most confident with?
Let's...
I was just gonna do 1 through 3. Just do it in order.
The first locked room happened 6 months ago in a secret club in Kamasaki district.
Yep.
An old geezer was nailed to the wall in an underground casino.
Yep.
If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing.
Give it a shot.
Are you going to the first locked room?
Yes. I don't like it when you ask me like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's been 30 minutes already. That's wild.
Oh, did we get trapped inside a locked room again?
She got me. This shouldn't be a
If
surprise.
the mystery isn't solved, then I won't escape this place. Trapped in a cramped room with these two.
You're falling over us like 2
Sounds fun,
seconds.
actually.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I have no intention of playing along with your fantasies. Yuma, hurry up and take care of this.
Yeah, okay.
Where did the culprit flee from?
This is where I used Halara's forte with my coalescence for the
That's
first
my.
time.
I don't know about this.
Post-cognition allowed us to see the crime scene as it was in the past. Some things were obviously different. Those are most suspicious.
Oh no, this one I know. The vent, right? The vent. The vent.
Here. I know. What about the vent?
You believe the culprit escaped through the vent?
Yes, I'm sure of it. When I saw the crime scene with your post-cognition, the screws on the four corners of the
The
vent cover were
third
removed,
location and the second location, I have
which
no
means the
idea.
culprit must have escaped from there.
He's back! Crazy hair.
How ludicrous. You're saying the culprit escaped from the vent? That's impossible.
Master, poking full of holes until he's a makeshift golf course.
What does that mean?
How?
The secret door. Or the secret door. The secret club door key. Or the secret club nails behind vent. Beneath vent. The nails beneath vent were bent.
Oh, ludicrous. They used the vent.
Oh, I tried
That's
going
utterly
down. I
impossible.
guess I waited a little too long.
Think of where that vent is. Isn't it pretty high up? There's no way you could get there. Even if the cover was removed. There's no foothold to use to reach it.
I'll slash through this mystery.
Some of the nails stuck in the bottom of the vent were bent downward. The culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footing to reach the vent. The weight caused the nails to bend.
Easy peasy.
So you're forced to fight this way every time. Quite the test of endurance.
Yeah, no kidding.
However, solving the mystery itself was simple. The nails were used as footing to escape through the vent.
Correct.
Did you find that out using my post-cognition?
Correct.
Yeah, without your help, this case would have been impossible to solve.
You'll never be considered a full-fledged detective until you can handle a case like this on your own.
Sorry.
What about? How am I supposed to do that?
Captured again. Sucks to be a rookie, huh?
How? Please enlighten me, Halora. How would anyone besides you been able to solve this case? Starting from right now, no one would. No one would have been able to, without knowing the details of the previous 3 cases. The way we can do that is because of your forte, Halora. So stop being so pretentious with it.
Anyway, let's head out. I'll use the nails on the wall as footing, just like you deduced.
Right, let's hurry.
That's kind of trippy. Back in here again.
The Mystery Labyrinth. Such a bizarre place. I must ask, is there no way to escape besides solving the mysteries?
You mean like an emergency exit? Unfortunately, I don't think that exists.
An emergency exit, huh? Well, there is one, kinda.
There is?
But it doesn't solve anything. You'll just go right back to the mess you came from. Besides, to use the emergency exit, you'll have to pay a heavy, heavy price.
And that is?
Don't worry about it. Using it here wouldn't help anyway. So, never mind. Just concentrate on solving the mystery.
I am deeply concerned.
Got it.
Deeply concerned. That someone's gonna die in here. We have to trade a life to get out.
There it is! Another treasure! So, who's gonna open the treasure chest this time? How about, whoever looks like they'd win a character popularity poll? Oh, that's me! All right.
I don't know.
Another solution
I
here.
don't know. I don't know. Let's have a slender
Looks
build
like
could use
another
that.
clue leading us toward the culprit.
Yeah. So a fat, chubby guy in the church couldn't have used it. Doesn't mean that they couldn't be an accomplice. It just means they're not the prime suspect. There's a difference.
Considering the culprit used those nails as footing, they would have to be nimble.
Yes.
And given the size of the vent, only someone thin could fit through it.
Yep.
So the culprit must be thin. We're narrowing down the possibilities quite nicely.
Keep it up, Master. This is all thanks to my training.
Two and three, the ones I'm the least confident
The
on.
remaining locked rooms.
Oh no, I think 2 I'm pretty confident on. I think 3 I'm the least confident on because we didn't really get anything. That's the museum. This is the mansion.
The second locked room mystery occurred 3 months ago in that mansion. The corpse was inside the study, and the room's key was found underneath the corpse.
Yep.
If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the second locked room?
Yep. Yes.
There are dolls nailed across the room. The victim is nailed down in the same manner. And the culprit was also missing from this room? It shares common traits with the other Nailman killings.
And we're trapped again. Looks like you gotta solve the mystery of this locked room, or we're not leaving.
I'll try.
Why every time? Why every time?
The door was locked when the corpse was found, and the only key was underneath the body. There are no windows that could have been used to escape, and the vent is too small to fit through. So how did the culprit escape from here?
That vent? Is that what we're saying is too small? I don't know what a chair would do.
There doesn't appear to be any gimmick around here.
You can't escape from here.
I don't even know what that selection is.
What about jumping into the painting?
Are
Oh,
you serious? Maybe you should see a doctor.
No, just a joke.
the front door?
Here,
Well, that makes it a little bit boring, doesn't
this
it?
has to be the spot. To leave the room, the culprit had to have taken this door to the hallway.
Huh? There's nothing special about that.
But there's no other possibility. There isn't another entrance or exit.
But the door itself was locked and the key was found under the corpse, right? After locking it from outside in the hallway, how did the culprit enter the room and put the key under the corpse?
Try it. Everything must be verified.
Sure. After committing the crime, the culprit went out to the hallway with the key in hand. They then locked the door. Assuming that's the only way to create this locked room, the problem is...
What are you going to do with that key in your hand, Master? Don't tell me you still have no idea.
hold on, let me think this over. We should go back inside for now. Huh?
Looks like we're locked out.
The chair appearing randomly.
This is bad, Master! You better hurry or you'll fall into the abyss!
What do I do?
Calm down. You just need to solve the mystery. Doing that will open the path. You can do it, can't you?
Yes, I'll try.
We have to put the key back in the locked room, right? In that case...
That's right. The key could be slid through the gap in the vent cover above the door. And if they managed to throw the key right under the corpse from here... It stopped. But nothing happened. The door is still closed.
If it was wrong, a trap would have activated. So we're on the right track about the key being thrown in.
But there's more to it than that. If you simply threw it in, it'd be impossible to position it under the corpse. I see. So this is the vital clue for this locked room. I'm beginning to understand what happened here.
Oh, Lara, have you already solved the trick to this locked room?
You haven't?
Hey, quit playing hard to get and tell us. Or just me. You can whisper it in my ear.
If you want information from me, you'll have to pay a fitting price in Xian. Of course, I don't work for cheap.
You really are a devil. Trying to take money from a death god, huh?
The key was definitely tossed inside. But that doesn't explain how it got under the corpse. So, how did the culprit pull off that trick after tossing the key in? Maybe the corpse was moved? That would explain how it was on top of the key.
Well, could have been.
But how do you move a body from outside a locked room?
Aww, the way's completely blocked off.
But the only things here that can block our progress are mysteries, right?
That's true. So, we just need to solve the mystery.
At least give me a heads up first.
It says, how was the corpse moved?
I've been trying to figure it out for a while, but...
Evidence was left at the scene.
Huh?
If you look at the evidence, you'll understand what tool the culprit used to pull this off.
Tool?
That's all the advice I'll provide. You must figure out the rest yourself if you wish to be a true detective.
Got it.
Got it? You just want the mystery solved for you, huh? I can tell, because I'm your mentor. So, I'll help you out. Are you ready? You better be.
Huh? Ready for what?
Lay it all out, Master!
Please no. No! I hate this one! I can't spell. Oh, it's my worst nightmare. Ah, the games I play for the stream. Oh no.
Try to solve it, lickety-split!
Carpet used a blank to move the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-letter word. Oh, Lord. The eyes gouge out or the victim's neck. What marks are on the score's neck besides the strangulation marks? I have no idea. It's not good. It's not good. I have to figure it out. I literally can't do any of these spelling games. I mean, there were scratches. No, it starts with S. Is it string? Oh my god. Is it string? It's string, isn't it? Seriously? They're gonna use string? Give me that! Jesus Christ, 6 seconds remaining. I got it though. Oh my god. String!
There was evidence of a thin string being used at the scene of the crime.
We don't talk about what we just witnessed, all right? We just accept and we move on.
A sturdy and thin string like a fishing line must have been used to move the body.
You really think a tiny string could move a whole corpse?
I was thinking the key, but alright.
There he is again! That rude and gloomy guy.
That deduction is wrong. You're wrong.
What could be wrong about it? Master sounded really confident just now.
Listen. The nails in that corpse's leg pierced through his body and into the floor.
Yes, but his upper torso did
Which
not.
means
So they
the
used him as a
corpse was
pivot.
fixed in place.
Oh, but his legs
So
are
how
too.
could the corpse be moved?
Lift it up? Like sit up?
True. If the corpse was stuck in place, it'd be impossible to move it.
Indeed. It would be impossible.
Laura, you think so too? So I was wrong the whole time?
Guys are not healthy. These are my two guys. Not chat.
Huh? The door!
The truth is slipping further away!
Of course it is. Because your deduction is wrong. You people will never reach the truth. This is the end.
Master, let's take him down first!
Yeah.
Deathmatch. Let's go! Dolph, the eye is gouged out. Blood stains on the corpse. Right. So you can see the blood stain on the chest is downwards. Whereas from the legs, it's going out. Which supports the theory that maybe the string was attached to lift him in a sitting position. Then the key was thrown underneath, then the body was lowered. So I'm going to use that as my key.
Deduction is wrong. Do you have any proof that the corpse was moved? The corpse was fixed in place. It didn't move a millimeter. In fact, that corpse shows no sign it was ever moved.
Oh, there we go. I did a little too early. I was a little anxious.
No, there was evidence the body had been moved. The upper and lower parts of the body bled out differently. The blood from the lower body flowed naturally outwards, along the body's outline. But blood from the upper body looks like it flowed in a downward direction, toward his hips. If the corpse was motionless on its back, there wouldn't be such unusual bloodstains. In other words, it's safe to assume the body's position was different from when it was discovered.
No, why is there 3 of you now?
What? What's this?
Ugh, gross! We gotta hurry and get through that door.
Unusual circumstances. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
As long as the corpse was pinned to the floor, it couldn't be moved. You can't change the truth.
Even this didn't work? Am I just wrong about it all?
No, you're correct. The answer you've reached using the evidence is the truth.
Laura!
There's no doubt a fine string was used in this case. Evidence at the crime scene indicate the corpse was moved. So all that remains is to answer, how was the pin body moved? That bizarre bloodstain holds the clue to all of this.
The bloodstain? If the bloodstain is the clue for how the body could be moved, even while pinned...
Master, we gotta chase after the door! It's getting further away!
Oh yeah, that's right. We're changing her.
Won't let you!
What position was the corpse in before it was moved? Upper body.
That's right. The corpse was sitting up at first. That's why only the wounds in the upper half of the body bled straight down.
What was used to sit the body upright? Thin string, the wall? The string, obviously. Obviously, the string.
The string I mentioned before was thin but sturdy. It was all over the room, holding the body's upper half in place. That's the reason only the corpse's neck had marks on it.
Why was the corpse laying on the back at the time of the discovery? Maybe not cut. I lost a little bit of health. The string was retrieved. Otherwise, we would have seen the string at the crime scene, which I guess
The
makes
culprit
sense.
then retrieved all the string that kept the corpse in place from outside the door.
Yep.
And with nothing to support it, the top half of the corpse fell back to the floor, just like how it was discovered.
It appears this locked room mystery will finally be solved.
Huh? When did that happen?
Magically,
Maybe
just
you're
now.
supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did. Master, you know the answer, right? Let's finish this.
Right.
Recreate the locked room?
You gotta think like the culprit, Master.
Think about how the couple created the locked room and follow the same steps to complete the room.
What place is suspicious?
Inspect items following the sequence of events. Some of the items weren't used in the crime, so be careful.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery.
Okay, well, the corpse, obviously.
Maybe you got the order wrong. Stay calm. Collect your thoughts.
Would you not
First,
start?
you need to tie the fishing line down. Find a sturdy spot where it can be easily retrieved later.
Why wouldn't you start with it around the body's neck? What? Desk lamp, the wall. Like here, the doll, you want
Maybe
to start
you
there?
got the order wrong.
No, you don't.
Stay calm. Collect your thoughts. First, you need to tie the fishing line down.
You want me to start at the door then? Game. Is that what you want me to do? The vent?
First, a knot was tied through a slit in the vent. After that, the fishing line was drawn away to another location.
Okay.
In terms of sequence, it'd probably be easier to start with things that are fixed in place.
This doll might have something
That's
related to it.
It passed through a doll's eye.
Oh, that's why they were gouged
And
out.
then the fishing line passed through the eye to somewhere else.
Corpse has... No, there's still 3 more. The desk lamp? No, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, going to the corpse makes the most sense after the words.
Right. The line was then passed around a certain point on the corpse. That was...
The neck? Do I really gotta... Under the head, under the neck.
here, behind the neck. The line ends here to support it. Now, it's clear that the line passed through the vent, the doll's eye, and ended beneath the neck.
Hang on. why pull the line through the doll first? Can't you just start by pulling it from under the body?
Leverage.
To support the body's weight, the line needs to pass through the doll first, as it was fixed in place. Next, the fishing line.
I see. So they didn't tie it around the corpse's neck, which is what I kind of originally thought. Because how else are they going to retrieve it back? Now, I could see it going back to the door. Although that might be hard. Going back to the doll also makes sense, but it just doesn't have the right leverage, though. That's the problem. Going to the lamp doesn't make any sense. There's nowhere else for it to go. Well, I guess the painting over here, but that obviously doesn't make any sense. So, since there's two more, I don't know. Just going to the door... Back to the doll, to the door? And let's try that, I guess.
There are
No.
3 points with signs of think it over.
Okay, no. Shut up. Didn't think so, but it was worth a shot. Alright, back to the vent
Now,
then.
to return the line to the vent. This kept the corpse's upper torso in place. The room has been completely prepared. So next...
I mean, that's kind of it.
The culprit exited through the door and locked it with a key. The key was thrown through the gap in the vent.
This room is way more evolved than the other two.
If the culprit managed to drop the key next to the corpse, the only thing left was to untie the line. Then... the corpse, which was supported only by the line, would fall face up on top of the key. That's how the culprit created the locked room.
Hooray! You did it! That's my master!
We got it. One more. The last one I'm the most confused on.
The bloodstains were strange. The length of the nails driven into the upper and lower body were different. The nails on the upper half didn't penetrate all the way through the body, but the nails on the lower half went all the way through and into the floor. That was how the lower half could be secured, while the upper half could still be moved around.
That sure was tricky, but you managed to solve the mystery behind it.
Yeah, not very well though. We lost a lot of health. Which isn't great, considering we just started this labyrinth.
Looks like we finally made it to the treasure chest. Speaking of, don't you think that whoever worked the hardest should get to open it? Which is me, of course.
This is probably another clue leading to the culprit. I'm not sure how we use it.
Yeah.
Still, it must be used for something. Hold on to it for now.
Holding on. The last one.
Let's solve the rest.
Right.
The rest? You mean the last one? The third one. The third locked room.
The third locked room was a murder that happened 1 month ago in the art gallery storage in Ginma district. Pictures and paint were scattered all around the spot where a woman was boom killed. If you think you're up for it, then let's solve this thing. Are you going to the third locked room?
Yes, and I'm glad I'll never have to hear a doll talk to me like that again. Not like it.
Did we get stuck inside a locked room again?
You got me. We've done this 3 times
This was
now.
the
You don't have
corpse
to
that
act
was
surprised
discovered
every
by that
single time we do
worshipper
this.
And the art gallery employee. At the time of discovery, the door was locked and the key was nailed to a doll inside the room. Aside from the door, the only other entrance is the window, but it opens just enough to fit a finger in. The frame itself is too small for even a child to squeeze through. How did the culprit vanish from here?
Yeah, this I'm not sure on. I just want to say, this window, like, what's the point of even having it at that rate if you're gonna have such a small window? Is that event? Almost. There's the door. But that's it unless the culprit hid in the room.
Here.
So it has to be the door. We did this before, so of course it's the door.
I think the culprit could have only escaped from here, but...
Nothing's happening. Maybe you made a mistake, Master.
No, that can't be right. It's impossible for anyone to squeeze through that window. They could have only gotten out through the door. I'm sure the culprit had the key and locked the door from the outside after committing the crime.
The culprit just used a copy of the key? Would that really be considered a locked room mystery?
Well, there are only 2 keys to the storage space, and the design makes them impossible to duplicate. I learned that thanks to you, Halara.
One of the keys is always carried by that one employee. It was used when the body was first discovered, right? And the only other key was nailed through a doll onto a painting. So, it is a locked room mystery! Right? Right? Oh, that's totally it.
I see. I suppose you could call it that. Hey, Yuma, can you go check outside of that window?
Oh, just like before.
Before?
Yeah, you made me do the same thing in the real world when we were investigating this place.
I see. Then the answer has already been confirmed. Very well. This locked room is solved.
Huh? Wait, did you already solve this mystery?
You haven't? How about you go and check outside the window? Then even you will see.
Oh, it unlocked. Looks like you can go outside.
All right, let's go see.
All right.
Hey, didn't you already check this in the real world? Why do it again?
I have no idea.
Halara told me to check it twice. There must be an important clue outside that window.
Hey, maybe the culprit threw the key in through the window. That way, the key would be found inside.
No.
Well, how about that theory?
The nail head's bigger than the hold the key.
Is this the storage key?
Which means...
There's no way! There's no effing way they threw it in.
This one's a freebie. I was right. Just toss it in there, Master.
No,
Culprit threw the key inside?
I don't believe
Is
that.
that really the right answer?
No.
Did the culprit throw the key in from the window?
Master, hurry up and throw the key!
No, I don't believe that. There's no way. The head of the nail was much larger than the key. Yeah.
That's the right answer?
How? Didn't the culprit throw the key in there? That's why the key was found inside, right?
No, the crime scene wouldn't end up like that if we threw it in. The key was nailed to a painting. That's not possible if you just throw it into the room.
Oh, right. But if the culprit didn't throw it in there, how is the key left in the room?
If you can't nail the key after throwing it...
Uh-oh.
You're back. The key vanished.
The key is in my hand.
Along with the doll.
Master, you got the doll and nail!
I see. So you're supposed to recreate the locked room in the same way the culprit did.
Bro, no, we have no
Try it
information.
out. Doing so will create a new path.
Yeah, I'm gonna solve this.
Good luck, Master!
We have so little information about this room. It's not even funny.
You have to recreate the culprit's locked room mystery. First, do something about that doll.
The door.
There are a few things you have to do, but first, you need to set the conditions to create the locked room. Wasn't
Look
the
at the
doll you
painting.
just obtained use somewhere?
A painting? I don't like that. I mean, I don't... A steel ladder? Okay. Oh, here's the painting.
All right, first, take the painting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wait, it's too early for that step. The key will be
Okay.
nailed.
Okay. Okay, fine. The game kind of gave you a massive hint on how this was done.
The culprit nailed the doll onto the painting. Next, both were stood up at a certain location.
They were stood up by the window. And then the painting was
painting
pushed.
stood up facing the window. Now the part with
That's
the
not
first
how
doll
I
is
thought
right
it was
next to the
pushed.
window.
But I guess that works
at
too.
that.
I thought it was like propped up at a 45-degree angle, then the side of the canvas was pushed. But I guess this works too. Okay, then we can leave.
Then the culprit went outside. The door was locked, and they went to the other side of the storage room. I can see the painting and doll through the window, but I can barely fit my hand through the gap.
The doll's got a nail in it, but the problem is that key in your hand, Master.
Yeah, the culprit took the key and then...
There's only one nail, right?
No, the key was...
Maybe not. I guess there's two nails?
The culprit nailed the key to the painting, along with the doll from outside the window. Finally...
Ah, pulled out the nail stuck in the doll.
Huh? You're pulling it out?
Pulled it from the head.
Sure, there were two nails stuck on there.
I guess my memory is garbage, but it was over a week ago, so what do I know?
I pushed the painting into the room.
I could have sworn anything. There was only a single nail in that doll and
Locked
painting, but
room
whatever.
Mystery. This is how the culprit did it.
I don't know why room 2 was so unnecessarily complicated in all the puzzles and games we had to
some
do,
time,
and this one we just
but
had to
you've reached the
recreate it and we were
truth behind
good.
This locked room.
Throwing the key through the window would be obvious. So to mislead us into thinking that was impossible, the key was nailed to a painting which was then pushed over.
It's one thing for an amateur, but a detective wouldn't be tricked by this.
Seriously, only amateurs would get fooled by... Wait, you mean me?
Alright. What's gonna happen now?
Hey, a treasure chest! Who's gonna open this one? We should let the meanest one of us open it.
How would you decide that?
Like this. I'm the meanest. Let's check out this treasure. Huh?
What's wrong?
It's empty.
No key.
Huh? Why? After all we went through to solve this locked room.
This must mean solving the third locked room mystery doesn't necessarily bring us any closer to the ultimate truth.
That's terrible. I suddenly feel so tired.
We can't call it quits. We gotta keep going.
Got robbed! The third one was just a waste of time.
That's it for all the locked rooms. We make a pretty good team. Don't you think so?
Well, what do we do from here?
Sudden curtain.
I see. The way forward is clear. It must be due to solving all of the locked room mysteries. Now let's go.
Right.
Again, I gotta ask. Who's supposed to be the protagonist here?
Okay, well, I'm leaving. You two can stay behind and keep chatting if you want.
This place is creepy.
Ripped, huh?
Don't be afraid to roll the dice. You must keep pursuing the truth. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Isn't that right?
Perfect deduction, yes.
Yes.
I can't run, by the way. This is the fastest I can move right now for this particular portion.
Is this some dungeon?
What is the meaning of this? Let me out of here!
Let me out! I'll kill your ass in the name of God!
I have nothing to do with the case.
Yeah, Servant definitely does that.
Culprit! Let me go!
Wow, they're all here.
So now we must pick out the true culprit of this case.
The true culprit.
Yuma, you solved all the locked room mysteries before you made it here. You should have all the clues and evidence you need to accuse the culprit. To be honest, when I first met you, I thought you were rather pitiful.
Nice, thank you.
You sure are honest.
Thank you, wonderful
But my
comment.
opinion of you has improved. These mysteries have brought you closer to becoming a true detective. Now tie up all the loose ends and prove that I am not mistaken. With your logic, anything is possible.
All right, I'll try.
Ooh, somebody's guilty.
Who's the culprit? Figure it out and hit him with the dramatic finger point. Make the right choice and you'll reveal the truth. Who is the nail man?
I'm not the nail man!
I'm not the culprit. I'm not the nail man.
It's definitely not the servant. He is far too large to fit through that vent.
How can I be the nail man?
The worshiper is definitely the most suspicious of them. Part of me really hope it's not him because it just fits too well. He's obsessed with the nail man. Completely obsessed, but he's not a member of clergy, so it can't be him.
I'm not the culprit.
The priest is slender and could definitely do it. I wish I could like go over my evidence or anything, but I can't.
I'm not the nail man!
The nun. She has a broken arm. What kind of shoes were worn at the scene? I wish I could look over the evidence. Again, the worshiper doesn't have access to the smeltery, even though he's been on the every single crime scene, the first one there, every single time, with someone else. But he doesn't have the keys to that incinerator.
I'm not the culprit.
We just don't know anything about the priest.
I'm not the nail man!
And I don't know what kind of shoes the nun wears. And her arm.
Don't
That's
make
not
me
it.
kill your ass.
It would have made sense for it to be the nun.
Nail man.
It really would have been, because she has a father that's high up in the corporation, which would make sense why the peacekeepers are trying to cover it up so much.
I'm not the culprit.
It has to be the priest then. We just don't know anything about him though. That ties him nicely. I guess it could be the worshiper
I be the nail man.
if he, you know, he spends all of his time at the church, but there's a part of me that just doesn't want him to be. Because it's just too suspicious. And it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess it could, it's the first mystery, but I just don't like it. I just don't like, it just doesn't feel right, you know? It feels too perfect, almost.
I'm not the culprit.
I guess let's try the priest. If it's not the priest, then it has to be the worshiper. I'll be disappointed in. It is the priest.
The culprit is you, Father.
Why is that?
What? That's an absolutely...
Ridiculous thing to say.
Him again? Why won't he just give up?
You're saying the priest, a man of the cloth, is the culprit? That's impossible. How dare you spew such nonsense?
Right! Do not make baseless accusations. The culprit has to be someone else.
Yuma, can I leave this to you?
It's not a baseless accusation. You're the only one who could possibly be the culprit.
Master, you're acting like a real detective. Go on and boom kill him.
Oh my god, the priest's final form. Only because you have access to the incinerator. The vent is too small for a person to enter. It's just the incinerator.
Man of the cloth. Don't like this. It's total bless. I am not the nailman. That's it. The first one to discover the bodies. The mailman is the worshiper.
Oh, that was the one I was supposed to slash. Dang it.
Yeah.
Oh.
The mailman is the worshiper.
This is the truth. The rope ladder used in the clock tower's locked room was found in the incinerator, which only clergy can access. The worshiper may be a regular churchgoer,
is an interesting
but
choice.
he's no clergy member.
I wonder what his motive
So
is.
he's no longer a suspect.
Shut up! Shut up! Ridiculous!
In person.
A member of the churches?
Finishing with vertical marks.
The culprit? Even so, I am not the culprit. There are others working for the church. Yes, there's the servant.
Oh my god.
The servant must be the nailman. The servant was able to commit the crimes.
There we go. This is the one I wanted.
I'll slash through this mystery.
It was a good thing I got hit by the wrong one. I was trying to slash first.
Climbing up to the underground casino's window with only nails for footing would require considerable agility. Judging by the size of the window, there's no way someone of his size could have committed the crime.
No! Absolute lies!
Victims were all strangled, but the cause of death was not publicized.
The nun must be the culprit. She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes. It's not like she's afraid of heights. She used the nails to climb. And you know she's always saying, "I'll kill your ass in the name of God." It's clear she's the ruthless soul.
Okay.
It's clear she's the ruthless soul.
Oh, so that's what the shield does. Good to know. Now do the crime. Floor plan wouldn't have anything to do with it. This is the mansion's floor plan.
The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
Oh. None of them work. Oh, I didn't read all the way. The key's placement implies that only someone with full use of their arms could fashion this room. That thing was hidden. I'm like, ooh, fishing line, that's not applicable. The drawing, not applicable. It's gotta be something with this, because try strangling someone with one arm? Good luck. Good luck. Especially, you know, 4 times over. No, that wouldn't have worked. The only thing I don't know is, I don't know when she hurt her arm, when she damaged her dominant arm. Because these killings was a span of 6 months, right? 6 months was the first one, and then they did it basically every other month until the reset. But this is just weird. Okay.
The nun must be the culprit. She's thin and also works at the church. The nun was absolutely able to commit the crimes.
This is the truth.
The mansion study's locked room. The culprit tossed the key behind the corpse with perfect aim. With her dominant hand injured, the nun couldn't have done that, which means she's not the culprit.
Guess that works.
It's not the churchgoer, the servant, or the nun. There's only one option left. Father, it's you. You are the nail man.
Hey, say something quick. Otherwise, they'll pin me as the culprit.
Well...
You're useless. I am a priest in service to God.
Oh my god.
I am not the nail man.
He's losing control.
What god would make you this ugly?
All your proof is nothing but fantasy. You don't have a single piece of hard evidence.
Hard evidence?
But Master, you do. It's easy.
Based on the facts, the priest must be the culprit. The decisive evidence that proves it is... I
The
don't
footprints?
know. What do I do? What do I do?
What?
A detective must always prioritize solving a case. Listen, a detective isn't an arbiter of justice. Unraveling a case is top priority, even with questionable methods. What do you mean? In short, you must get them to confess. Use everything in your arsenal, even if it requires bluffing.
Use everything?
Don't hesitate to use anything that might give you an advantage. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. Always remember that.
A bluff? In other words, I should just claim I have solid evidence. But what could I use as a bluff?
The case report. A report concerning the clock tower mysteries. Suspicious footprints. That's the one I want to use. Past mailman murders. Art storage paint. Okay.
Your stupid fantasies! Everything you say is nothing but a fantasy! Do you have any proof, culprit? Did you find my fingerprints?
I mean, it's footprints. I was like, oh, it's the same thing. You know, it's close enough.
Did you find my blood? Of course there's no evidence.
This is the truth.
Okay. All right. We're doing okay.
You left clear evidence at the clock tower's crime scene. There were footprints left under the window in the mud. When we inspected them, we found out they perfectly match your footprints.
Impossible! I already burned those shoes in the incinerator.
You gave yourself away.
Sure did.
I swear, I only enacted justice in the name of God.
Looks like it worked. Good job, Yuma.
Thanks.
Karnai Ward is rotten to the core. To save it, someone had to get their hands dirty. Those slain were the evil incarnate that harm others. That's why the people asked the nailmen to kill them. Evil must be punished. And so, I strangled them. Made them suffer.
Jesus, alright.
All I did was slay evil.
But why torture them? Why make them suffer?
If someone hates somebody bad enough, they give that name to the Nailman.
Yep.
And this priest went around killing those people as the Nailman.
The urban legend offered targets for murder.
A priest is supposed to be the voice of God, but he went around killing people because someone wanted them dead. Lord is awesome!
Plus, it doesn't guarantee that the
It's
person
terrible.
nailed to the tree is a bad
It's insane
person.
to think that he'd kill people for a reason like that.
It just means that someone really doesn't like them. So, to say you only killed bad people, well, you killed a bad person in the eyes of whoever nailed that person to the wall. But maybe they had to make those certain decisions because of the situation or whatnot, or maybe they just made enemies that hate them so much for no real reason.
That could be said about all murders. Insane people kill for insane reasons. Anyway,
You must
you did it, Yuma.
be able
My
to
expectations of you
interpret
weren't
all
wrong after all.
perspectives.
Is it finally over? Huh, nothing's happening. But last time...
Yeah, the soul of the true culprit who created this Mystery Labyrinth should appear. And since it didn't, it looks like this isn't over yet.
Huh? It's not over?
There are still mysteries related to the Nailman killings within this Mystery Labyrinth.
But we solved all of the locked rooms and discovered the true identity of the Nailman. Was I wrong? But the priest even confessed to it.
Calm down, Yuma. There's no need to panic. If the Nailman's identity is exposed and all mysteries are yet to be solved, then most likely someone else's agenda is involved in this string of killings.
Someone else's agenda?
Meaning the Nailman didn't work alone.
You mean there's another culprit? But...
Yuma, if you consider yourself to be a detective, you must see the truth through to the very end. No mystery concludes with a dead end. There is nothing we detectives cannot solve.
All right.
We have to review these killings from a different perspective. Out of the 4 locked rooms, if any of them were hiding a mysterious secret, it would be the room that's obviously different from the others.
Different?
Master, I get the feeling you want my help. Isn't that right?
Huh?
Oh, fine. I can't say no to you when you're so helpless like that. Okay, Master, lay it all out.
No.
No, that has nothing to do with the matter at hand.
What do you mean? They're just barrels. I'm not supposed to pick a barrel? What's the mystery at hand?
Good luck.
I mean, I picked the second room because it was clearly the more involved than any of the other rooms for no reason whatsoever. A speakeasy, the mansion, which would make most sense to have a mystery. The artwork, and then the clock tower. I don't think there's anything to do with the clock tower. They all had dolls. The art gallery.
Try to solve it, lickety-split.
The stock room is different from the others because of the victims.
You can do it, Master!
I hate this. I hate this so much. Death? Death. Hello? Hello? Are we not throwing stuff now? There we go.
That's right! Nice!
Death!
A new path's opened up. It seems to be a hidden passage. If so, then the truth should be somewhere down there. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, playing this a week apart is hard to remember all those minute details.
I see. So the cause of death for the victim of the art gallery storage is the only one that's different.
I don't remember what it was.
Right. The victims in the other locked rooms were all strangled to death. All had strangulation marks and scratches, defensive wounds. The victim in the third locked room had strangulation marks, but no signs of resisting. There's also evidence of blunt trauma to the head.
Oh,
which
the
can be
trauma.
considered
Oh,
the
that's
fatal
right.
blow.
Yeah. Yep.
The marks could have been made after the victim died, so as to appear as if strangulation was the cause of death. The real cause of death is blunt force trauma.
Makes sense. That makes sense. The door. Freedom! Having a culprit is most certainly new. Not culprit, having a,
Here's another
accomplice
obstacle,
is certainly new.
but it's likely to be an insignificant one. Yuma, let's solve this mystery and move on.
Right.
What was the cause of death made to look like strangulation? Work of a copycat? Coincidence. The work of the priest. Is it a copycat? Here's the problem, I don't know if it worked.
The strangulation was faked to imply this crime had the same perpetrator as the other 3 incidents. By making the crime scene as similar as possible, it appeared like the mailman was responsible for an unrelated murder. Which means this was a copycat crime.
I agree.
Hmm?
Among the string of mailman killings, there could be some that were done by copycat criminals.
That has to be why the Mystery Labyrinth still remains, even after discovering the mailman's identity. So who is the copycat criminal?
Indeed, we need to uncover this imposter's
A
identity.
worshiper would make sense for
All right.
this. A kid. I love that the kid's in there.
Me of being the copycat criminal? What the hell? I'll kill your ass!
I'll kill you. Nothing from the boy.
No, it's not me.
Just silent.
I told you already. I have nothing to do with this.
Yes, you did. And now it makes more sense.
You are the copycat criminal.
Huh? Me? What are you talking about? I told you all about the Nailman, and even cooperated with your investigation. And now you think I'm a murderer? Are you fucking kidding me? This is crazy. Your investigation isn't worth shit. I'll crush you to dust, you filth!
Let's see. Unlike the other victims, assigned to strangulation, but no wounds from resisting. The sign of blood force trauma to the back of the head. Pass no link information chain from. Yep. That doesn't make sense. And that one doesn't make sense. It's got to be this one.
Accuse me of being the culprit. I was just first on the scene. Why do you think I'm a copycat criminal? It could have all been the Nailman. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah?
No? Cause of death was not. Oh, okay, I see. I'm supposed to use
Why
the
accuse me of being
non-public information.
the culprit?
What?
I knew it.
Say,
In that case...
What? Oh, maybe it's this.
Me
Maybe?
being the culprit. I was just first on the scene.
You're not gonna get a stellar score for this
Think I'm a
Mystery Labyrinth,
copycat
that's for
criminal?
sure.
It could have all been the nail man. The cause of death was just different each time, yeah?
No! What the fudge? The cause of death wasn't different each time. It was all the same. Why can't you give this to me? That is clearly the problem.
Even if there was a copycat criminal, why is it me? The servant could be the copycat. The nut could be the copycat. Anyone could have done it! Anyone could have done it! I'll slash through this mystery.
The cause of death in the art gallery was blunt force trauma, faked as a strangling to resemble the nailman's MO. But the murders all being strangulations wasn't made public right away. The only ones who knew that were those who actually set foot on the crime scenes. That includes the mailman himself, the peacekeepers, and the first eyewitnesses on the scene. Which means you could have committed the murder in the art gallery.
I see now what they're trying to say. Everyone assumes that the killings were a result of just nails in the victims' bodies that killed him, right? So he was the only one that was the first of the crime scene every single time. So only he knows that strangulation was the cause. But I don't know. The fact that he just said the deaths were different each, like the way they were killed it different each time, was clearly false information that could have been refuted. But it's just not what the game wanted. How can you make a copycat killing if you don't know how they were killed?
What?
For the first on the scene to also be the culprit is rather cliche.
He was always suspicious, but because the real mailman was someone else, I didn't connect the dots. He was fascinated by the mailman, and by studying him, he eventually knew more about him than anyone else. Ultimately, he became the mailman.
It's ironic that he exposed his own crime by knowing too much about the other ones.
Master, the truth is right there! My radar is banging like crazy!
Banging?
Go away! I won't let you! You have the truth!
Looks like we've arrived at the final stage.
If we make him submit, we'll completely solve the Mystery Labyrinth. Master, don't let your guard down.
Yeah.
Let's do this, Master!
Remember the controls? Kick, tackle, jump.
You'll never destroy this fort! Damn you! Stop it! Shut up!
What? I pressed it!
Damn this!
Okay, I gotta press it I was waiting for it to be closer. But I guess you can press it as soon as it slows down.
Done by the nailman! I'm not the culprit! How dare you accuse me when you have no proof? You didn't even check the crime scenes back then!
You're wrong! Huh? Come on!
There we go.
Thanks to Halara's forte, we were able to see what each crime scene looked like at that time.
My power allows me to see the moment the first witness saw the crime scene. Not the culprit, not the victim, but how it appeared when a third party first entered.
We used post-cognition to gather all the evidence.
Time to end him!
Wrong! Shut up! Stop it! Get away from me, damn it! Why you? Get away from me! Get away! Get away! Who cares if you use
I know how much time I have. Here I'm trying to time everything. I can just do it the second it pops up.
No clue will help lead you to the culprit. You're never gonna find the culprit. What you saw is only what I saw the moment the corpse was discovered.
No. That is not true. Oh.
Halara's post-cognition showed us
That's
that the
right.
paint can at the gallery storage entrance had been knocked over. And according to the art gallery staff member's testimony, that was your doing. You went into the crime scene first, and the art gallery employee behind you noticed you knocking over the paint can. But Halara's post-cognition only shows the scene when the corpse is first discovered. So if you were the first person to find the body, the scene before the paint can fell over would have been recreated. But it wasn't. The paint can had already been knocked over when the corpse was discovered. That means the first person to find the corpse was the art gallery staff member, not you. The reason you didn't count as the first person to find it is because you're the culprit.
This is the truth of the case.
I don't know where Halara is during this whole scene.
Master, finish him! Shove all your evidence into the solution blade and slash as hard as you can!
Well, here we go. Everyone's favorite part of this. Putting it all together. All right. Wonderful. I'm using my mouse for this because Jesus Christ. Okay, these things would be pain otherwise. What else do we unlock? The nails in the incinerator. Why is it like... Oh. Oh, they made it like a manga, so it's backwards. I was like going through and I'm like, why am I progressing further in this killings? Like, I don't read mangas, so I'm not used to this. Okay, I need to go the other way. Okay, so for the first one, this is cool. This is what I've always wanted. I wanted a killing where there was 2 culprits like this. This is really cool. I've always wanted this in Danganronpa, but they never did it. So now that they have done it, I'm actually really happy with it. Mystery unraveled.
Step right up, step right up! A series of locked room murders based on an urban legend. Will we discover the true identity of the Nail Man? Truth bombs are about to be dropped. Time for the deduction denouement.
I have never heard that word before.
To solve the
Denouement?
mystery of this string of events, we have to know who the Nail Man is first. The Nail Man is an urban legend of Kanaiwar. You write down the name of someone you want dead, and drive a nail through it and a doll to a tree behind the church. And the Nail Man will kill that person for you with a countless number of nails.
A string of murders exactly like that urban legend began half a year ago.
All of the crime scenes featured a corpse and dolls nailed down within a locked room. The first murder happened 6 months ago at a secret club in Kamasaki district.
The victim was none other than the geezer who owned the place, and the cause of death was strangulation. I heard the buy-in to place a bet was pretty steep, and cheating was rampant, so it was obviously a scummy place.
The key to the door was inside of a glass, and the vent that connects outside looked too high for escape to be possible.
But the culprit used the nails driven into the wall as footholds to climb. The proof? Why, the nails that were bent downward.
The vent was not screwed down at the time of the murder, so it could easily be removed and used as an escape route. A second murder happened 3 months ago. It was at a mansion near Ginma district.
The victim was some real estate agent who lived there, and the cause of death was again strangulation. He made a lot of money through shady real estate deals, so of course someone would be out to get him.
The door to the crime scene was the only possible entrance. But the key to that door was underneath the nailed-down victim. After the culprit escaped, some sort of trick was used to get the key back into the room.
A fishing line passed from the vent through the eye socket of the doll and propped up the upper body of the corpse. All that was left was to exit the room, lock it, throw the key in from the vent, and boom! You've got yourself a locked room mystery!
The key was tossed under the victim from the vent, and once the fishing line was retrieved, the corpse's upper body fell over, completing the crime scene.
The nails on the upper body didn't pierce through completely, so it wasn't nailed down at all.
The third murder happened 1 month ago in an art gallery storage room in Ginma district.
The skank's cause of death was blunt force trauma. She was a pretty lady who let her looks get to her head, and she got boom killed.
The key to the storage room was nailed to a painting through a doll. Another trick was used to get the key back inside the room here.
The painting with the doll nailed to it was propped up against the window, and then the culprit left the room. They nailed the key to the painting through the window, knocked it over, and bam! All done!
That's pretty clever, I will say.
Those are the truths behind the past 3 cases.
But I don't remember there being 2 nails on that doll.
There's been another murder at the clock tower in Kanaiwar.
The woman's cause of death was strangulation. since you told that kid you'd take care of it, we gotta solve this case.
The clock tower crime scene is rather high up on the 3rd floor. The door was locked from the inside, and the window shutters were also locked. But there was rainwater under the window, and the nails in 2 of the dolls had rub marks.
In other words, the culprit must have hung a rope ladder from the dolls to escape out the window. With my logic, anything is possible.
Why are you imitating Halara? Anyway. The killer cut their footing on the way down from the window. That way, they could just pull on one side of the rope to retrieve the whole thing.
The shutters come down under their own weight, so they locked once the rope was collected.
Yeah, I still don't know how you slip the rope through that, though. With all those knots in it.
Shutters, Master.
The rope ladder was collected, then burned in the church incinerator, which only clergy have access to.
That's how we know the nailman must be someone from the clergy.
But one question arose from this. The nailman killings share one more characteristic. All the victims were murdered by strangulation. This piece of information wasn't publicized.
The cause of death in the art gallery murder was blunt force trauma. The strangulation marks were added later.
Which means that it was someone mimicking the nailman. But I already know the identity of the copycat killer.
A 2-for-1?
First, the nailman must be someone thin enough to pass through the vent.
Someone with the skills to thread the key with precision.
And a clergy member with access to the incinerator.
The priest! You're the nailman!
The copycat is someone who knows that all of the victims were strangled to death.
Because he was the first witness in each case, the person capable of replicating the mailman's crimes is...
The Worshipper! You're the copycat criminal!
These poor characters don't get names. It's just the Worshipper and the Priest. They get no names. That's their names now.
This is the truth of the case!
Alright, Shinigami, do your thing.
What's that?
It's the truth. The soul of the true culprit who built this Mystery Labyrinth.
I see. It looks otherworldly, but there's an ominous air around it.
Thank you, Halara. I was only able to make it this far thanks to you.
I only kept my part of the deal. You made the right choice hiring me.
We're in so much debt to
But
Halara.
I will say one thing.
So much debt.
You've taken another step toward being a detective. That much is certain. I, Halara Nightmare, acknowledge you.
Really, Halara? You do?
Don't push your luck there.
All right, all eyes on Shinigami.
What's about to happen?
Oh, isn't it obvious? It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to boot kill the bad guy.
This case, 2 of them.
Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Ruin to the vile Mystery Labyrinth.
Oh my Jesus.
Glorious Stellar Spiral!
about as close to death scene we're gonna get in this game. Not as glamorous as staying with Rama, but I mean, I guess it'll do.